Yep, there we go. Thank you. Right on it. Let's try that again. Good morning, lads, lasses, and non-binary folk. How are you all feeling? And I suppose, Happy New Year's Eve? I've really got to stop doing that. Granted, I'd rather accidentally mute myself than, I don't know, not mute myself. That could be embarrassing. Maybe I should do a hotkey that when it starts screaming, it turns on, unmutes it. Good morning, good morning. Oof, goodness. I was really cutting it close with this, this tierless shenanigans. Oh, hello, Cardbox. We've got two little blue gears. Funny what you mouthing words and not saying it. It's the second time, but I guess it happens when I'm a bit sort of unprepared. I feel a bit like I'm rushing to start, but this time it's because I was gonna make some tea as I was starting up the stream. But unfortunately, it turned out I hadn't cleared out the tea infuser, so there was still a heap of old tea leaves in there, and I was very upset, so I had to run off and clean that out. Terrible. What can go wrong will go wrong. Damn Murphy and his laws. Yes, one day, Andy, you'll get the blue gear. It'll probably be when you're here by yourself, and there are bots, and I want to give you the power to deal with them. But yes. Oof. Such a good tea. Smells so nice. One day. I don't sound so disappointed. All you're doing is clicking on bots that promise, you know, frivolity and you'll always be a blue gear in my heart. Because you're the blue gear of the butcher. Tier list, I'm excited. Yes! The concept of the tier list, we may as well just jump to the tier list screen. I do like this screen, and I really do like that picture of the lap saying Souchon. Let's jump to this screen, shall we? There we are. You have cured my depression. Oh my goodness. Cardbox. Quickly, start a company. You found the cure. But yes, this is generally it. Also, we got more subscribers since the last stream. Don't know what happened, we got 2 of them. So whoever those people are, thanks. The first year I had Majima. Yes, down there. Yes, I've got the tier list in front of me. Woo. Can you see them moving? Woo, 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 woo. Kind of feel the pictures wouldn't work with the tier list thing, so I had to go find them. Turns out I've only played, well, not discounting, I've only done about 30 different games this year. It's a lot of games, but it's not as many as I thought. But we're also not counting, here it is, the PlayStation. We're going to be ranking the PlayStation and every PlayStation game I played this year on this tier list. There it is, the PS2. May its holy name be feared forevermore. I couldn't get the damn that was one of the ones that was glitching out. And there may be some missing from this just because I may not have noticed it's gone. And which I'd have to change things. But yes, we'll get to that. So yes, I decided to go for games. I was going to do general screams. Get my kettle. I was going to do general screams, but I just thought that may have been a bit cumbersome. Yes, you definitely know why I named that category like that, didn't you? You can definitely tell. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. But yes, there's quite a few things today. But I was gonna put more jokes, but the only real joke I ended up putting in here is, old mate with "what a shame" from Deus Ex. So yes, we can get started, but how was everyone's Christmas? Let's start there. Yes, I did play a lot of good games this year. What is everyone's Christmas like? Everyone enjoy their Christmas Eve Christmas parties? That's the I drink for the last drink of the year. I decided if I'm going to do a tier list of ranking my favorite things, I would go with my favorite tea. I'm ending the year with my favorite tea, Lapsang Souchong. The smokiest tea. A brand new packet of it I was given by my niece. In a nice little box. I should have taken a picture of the box. It's a beautiful little box. Oh, it's still December 30th for you. It isn't for me. And the last day of the year here. Saturday the 31st. Oh yeah, my favorites too. Yes. Well, my Christmas party went well. I made a punch, an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic punch. The non-alcoholic punch was a hit. The alcoholic punch was good too, but we still all preferred the Earl Grey gin, thyme and rosemary cocktail punch I made last year. Bit of a shame that I couldn't nail it again the second time in a row. But, you know, c'est la vie. I had a pretty good time. Already forgotten, to be honest. Yeah, fair enough. It was a day. You did things. You ate food. You drank soft drinks, probably. Had coffee. Yes, it was good. It was good, and I'm still eating the leftovers. In fact, I used the leftovers yesterday to make a beautiful okonomiyaki. I got pants for Christmas. Oh yes, what did everyone get for Christmas? I should have asked. That's a good question, Jay. What did everyone have for Christmas, eh? What's everyone's presents for Christmas? I think I had eggnog. I've never been a fan of eggnog, to be honest. I thought I would be more of a fan of it, considering how much I do like, you know, creamier cocktails. Like, you know, more desserty cocktails, but just not a fan of it. I got pants. Is that trousers? Got a pair of jeans. And eggnog. I got a corgi calendar. Adorable. I got a heated blanket. Huh, I suppose that would be useful up in America. I don't think I could ever find a use for a heated blanket unless I was down in Victoria or Tasmania. I got an air fryer. Oh. No, just pants. Like underwear? Like underpants? Or is this just the vague, nebulous concept of pants that you were given? You were given, you know, the multiverse-powered bottom halves. Always turns into what you want. Yes, air fryers. You know, I've never... Great gift that is. It is interesting. I've never really figured out air fryers, to be honest. I've been with people, and there are family members of mine who do have an air fryer, and I've been a number of times over there, and they always seem to have trouble trying to figure out how it works. My nephew uses air fryers, so maybe I'll have to ask him if I ever get one. Currently, I have a tiny little oven, and for most things, that little oven's good enough for me. I have like a little toaster oven. I use it to make small pizzas and lunches and stuff like that. Don't rarely turn on the big oven. In fact, it was broken for the last few months. Have I tried non-alcoholic eggnog? There was some being sold by Bundaberg. Technically, it wasn't non-alcoholic entirely. It did have, like, 2% rum in it. But yes, it was mostly non-alcoholic. It was being sold at a supermarket, so it can't actually be alcoholic. Because this is Queensland. Queensland does not allow... Queensland state laws do not allow alcohol to be sold in a normal supermarket. It has to be in a separate store. It has to be a liquor store. Bottle-o. Just pants, like gym pants, or pants for not to go out pantsless in the streets. Oh. I wish I knew. Candy popcorn. Oh, that's nice. Cotton candy popcorn, eh? I have cotton candy, well, I have candy cane tea somewhere around here. It's just liquor. It's just peppermint tea, really. I have a large toaster with an oven built in, but the timer broke, so now I have none. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. This timer's very manual, actually. It's an old egg timer style thing on this little electric oven. I don't know if they make them like this anymore, but the thing is just an egg timer. It goes tick, 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 tick. It's not a... No toaster oven, that is. I have a regular oven, but I never use it. It's a bit expensive when you're the only one using it, isn't it? Just to turn the giant thing on. I got a spoon that is also a straw. Magnificent. It sounds like something that would come out of a Christmas cracker. A bonbon. Or whatever the other names they're called. That's what that sounds like. Yes, it was quite good. It's quite good. Having an enjoyable time with the nephew who's visiting. Went out to Death and Taxes, which I talked about last time, I think. It was a good time. And an 80s Panasonic toaster I found at a thrift shop that was nearly new. Wish I'd kept it. Yes. A lot of my stuff from back then's died by now. Bent driving shafts and stuff like that from like the old food processors. A real shame. In the end, they do die. They only died in the 2010s though, so 30 years ain't bad. Wasn't spoon straws also found in cereal boxes? Yes! I distinctly remember they were. I think Cocoa Pops did it back in probably 2000s. Probably 2005 to 2010? Can't remember, it was somewhere there. But I do remember that. Tomorrow will be the 11th year anniversary of my PS2. Man, how the time flies. Woof. Shh. Don't ruin it for Andy. Don't ruin it for him. Also, I laugh at the things that gets me followers. Like, there's some games that you're just hilarious at. It's even golden. Ooh. Oh yes, I went to the sort of factory outlet store and they were doing a sale on ice creams. Guess what ice creams were there? That's right. It was Golden Gay Times. So I've got two different types of Golden Gay Time. I've got Cocoa Pops flavored Golden Gay Times and Fruit Loops Golden Gay Times. The gayest of Golden Gay Time. Rainbow Fruit Loops. I wonder if I could find a picture of those things. They look... I should rank Golden Gay Time flavors. Fruit Loop. It looks awful most of the time, but it is... Let me get this picture, see if this one works. Let me open up. No point with the Golden Gay Time. They all BS, Frank. You're right about that. They are pretty good. It is one of those guilty pleasures that I have, is Fruit Loops. So, and I don't know how Golden Gay Time is it, but well, I also got this one. I never ended up telling you guys about this, but I got this one last week. Golden Gay Time Oak chocolate. A kind of dark brown Golden Gay Time. Ooh. The Fruit Loop one looks pretty. The Fruit Loop one. There we are. There it is. Fruit Loop Golden Gay Time. Have a time. Have a gay time with Golden Gay Time. Have a time. Have a gay time. Ah, that was a good one. Tried a Fruit Loop Milk a week ago. Yeah. But I don't know how they do it. Golden Gay Times of X flavor always taste exactly like they stuck those two things together. They had the Golden Gay Time ice cream, and it just tastes like Fruit Loops. It tastes like straight up. It looks awful. It looks terrible. But it tastes like Fruit Loops. And the ice cream tastes like Golden Gay Time ice cream. It's what's on the packet, mate. It tastes like what's on the packet. I'm amazed how they do it. The Cocoa Pops one was the same. The oak Golden Daytimes tasted exactly like the weird oak chocolate. I don't know if oak chocolate milk is somewhere else. It looks gay time with Shrek. Well, you know. It's a bit better than the jokes could have made about the oak one. Ah, Lapsang Souchong. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful tea. Love the stuff. But yes, so I got some Fruit Loops Golden Gay Times. It's very nice. They can add to any food, I know, but... that's probably the case for all of them. Oak, Cocoa Pops, they all probably have a specific flavoring they can add to anything. It's just weird that it's so exact. I have to make sure the milk on the Discord. Shrek is alive, Shrek is live. Let me go with the Discord. Shrek is love, Shrek is live. Now. Oh yes, good job with your... I feel like I should... I have been informed about its existence. Damn it! You know what I should have done? Speaking of, Returnal's not here. Give it a moment. I'm gonna mute to disappear this. I'm gonna have to re-edit it. I know of its existence. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. I know! Returnal! I just remember that because I was looking at your, I was looking at the Jay Hanks, you know, Crazy Christmas, and he mentioned, I thought of adding the 20th Century House meme, but it was too long to rhyme. Speaking of, you know what, we're gonna make that the joke. 20th Century House. Should react to it on stream. No 20th Century Houses. Don't worry. Returnal. I'm getting to it. There it is. Okay. That'll have to do. No, I'm gonna have to go home. Oh, hello. Also streamer, I'm gonna play Pokemon with a friend. What are the odds? I don't know. You'll have to come back, though, Amanda Knives. But while you're here, how'd your Christmas go? What presents did you get? Did you have a good time? I know you were having yours on Christmas Eve or something. Hopefully a song I'm using to follow. Returnal House. You know what? That picture will have to do. It's not the best picture. I kind of wanted a more big picture of the house. Trying to find a good picture of the 20th Century House. I'm very distracted by this. Got a Pokemon Vita for Christmas. I'm already level 100. Ooh, very good. Yeah, that'll do. Now. Okay, there we are. Check for said, do you want to be loved or do you want to be yourself? Damn. Yep. Get that out of there. Now presentation mode. Rightio. Well, I did. Thank you for asking. There we are. Why are you down there? Get out of there. Why does it keep trying to... It keeps trying to say I am angry and disappointed at Yakuza 0. This thing is terrible. But there we go. We've got a 20th Century House in the bottom left corner. We'll probably have to redo this more as we figure it out. But yes, I suppose. Oh yes, I need to check this milk. I keep getting distracted. I need to look at this milk. Maybe for you, Andy, but you're the one who decided to make yourself suffer while playing the game. That's on you, mate. Oh, Fruit Loops. Nestle Sensations. And a cherry pie. That looks quite nice. Freshness guaranteed. Very nice. Now, let's begin with the classic. What a shame. I can't believe you're doing that to yourself, Andy. I cannot believe it. But what a shame. Where shall what a shame go? It's an interesting thing. Now we're on topic. Deus Ex. For the first few streams, I was not having a good time. But I really got into it at the end. Unfortunately, J-Hank, as much as you'd love to put it in S tier... Did I put my beer on today? It's fine. Fair enough. I don't know if I think I might have forgot to put my beard stuff on today. Oh well, I'll put it on after the stream. I never really tuned into the Deus Ex streams. It's a shame tier. Yes. But I really enjoyed it by the end of it. So, I can't really say it was always a good time, because it really didn't run well and I was having real problems with it. But it had clever game design, had a really fun time, and also, what a shame, and get a job. And the character work, voice acting, top tier. So unfortunately, I cannot agree with you, J-Hank. But it is a shame, what a shame, that it has to go in B tier. I think it's better than most, I really do. I'll put it in B tier. Well, B tier. Better than most tier, I suppose. A bomb? I feel like we should just play that meme again. Where's that meme? Where's that meme? I think it was sent to me, What are you talking about? You should get a job. Why are you locked in the bathroom? That one, yes. Was it sent to me, or was it in the memes chat? Why are you locked in the bathroom? There it is. Good old, why are you locked in the bathroom? Let's see if I can find this. How to get this onto the screen. It's not working the way I wanted to. Why are you locked in the bathroom? There we are. That'll sort of work. I love the terribly cropped nature of this on TV though. This is terribly cropped, but I like this. So stupid. Yes.
Beat them like shit. Why do guys only want bitchy bimbos who walk all over them?
Why are you locked in the bathroom? You talking to me? Maybe you should try getting a job.
Beautiful. Spectacular. But yes, we'll swap that back to the normal thing. Sorry, I just got distracted. That was fun. There we are. Terribly cropped. Terribly cropped meme. I could hear it without... Why are you locked in the bathroom? Very good. Okay. But yes, it was a good time, so it was better than most. Why are you locked in the bathroom? Alright. Now, we've got to the few things. We'll have a few of these, and I think they'll all sit around. Now, let's think of the bathhouse. Can't wait to get to Ghostwire. I know exactly what I'm going to say for Ghostwire, because I always had this feeling about it. I can respect the B tier. Fair enough. Better than most. The bathhouse. Where the character quit the job in the city and moved to the country, to the village with the bathhouse. God, I missed some funny shit by not watching the Deus Ex stream. It was very good. It was very good. The Deus Ex streams. Once I got into it, it was very fun. Like sniping someone with rocket launchers from across the room and stuff like that. You know, it's epitome of stealth. Wait, speaking of stealth, no, Hitman was last year. It was very strange to see that Hitman was last year. And so was all the Halo games. Share the Dalai Lama version of the UNATCO theme? No. No, you haven't. Well, I remember saying, yes, the bathhouse, back on topic. It was amazing the games that were last year, but that's beside the point. For some reason I feel like the Halo ones are in the middle of the year, but they weren't. They were at the end of last year. Do the work at the bathhouse where you use the soap to watch the body, and when you run away from the ghost, you need to get to the apartment. Which apartment? I don't know. You have 2 keys. Figure it out for yourself. Ghost monkey? No, ghost monkey. The monkey died, though. Poor old Sam or James the monkey. Poor old the monkey. The monkey died. Was killed by a ghost. And then it turned out the town didn't exist. Also, you were playing as a character. That character died. F monkey. F to pay respects to the monkey. R.I.P. You were great. I wanted to feed you a sweet potato. But it wasn't until the next day I got the sweet potato and you were already dead. So I gave the sweet potato to a crow. What is this storyline? Well, you were somebody who quit their company, their job at the company, and then you saw an advertisement about a little town that needed someone to... the little village that needed someone to run the bathhouse. Then you went to that town, trying to get away from it all. You got a free apartment, there was a creepy house manager, and then your character dies. And then you pick up as your character's sisters in the creepy town. You do all of this stuff, you break the curse, you find the Hunchback of Notre Dame at the bottom of an old well. You release the Hunchback of Notre Dame from the bottom of the well. And that's how you get the good ending. If you don't release the Hunchback of Notre Dame from the bottom of the well, you die. They put your body into the furnace that runs the bathhouse, the hot water in the bathhouse. No, you're the sister of the person who died. No. You die, the first character you play as dies, and then you play as the sister of that character. But if you don't, and if you keep playing as that sister, working at the bathhouse, getting the free room from the creepy... And there's also a criminal in the town. There's this wanted poster, and the guy who's on the wanted poster is just your... They don't talk about it, nobody mentions it, but your neighbor that's living with you in this tiny town is a serial killer. Beside the point, if you don't break the curse properly, you go hide in your room, you get murdered by a ghost, you get picked up by the landlord and the priest, and they burn your body in the furnace, and then the ghost appears and turns them into paste. But if you release the Hunchback of Notre Dame, you will live, and you will find out the town hasn't existed for like 50 years or something like that. Then the town didn't exist at all. I don't know whether the serial killer was there, but he was. I fished a lot, and found wooden tablets. It was a good time. I actually liked it. It was better than most. It was all a dream. No, it wasn't a dream. It was real. It's just that nobody could find the town except for those the town wanted to find, I suppose. Because they were trying to sacrifice women to break the curse. Maybe a reference to another game. Probably. So I liked it. Because it couldn't be better, but it was better than most. I don't that was a terribly named tier, I'm starting to realize. Bioshock. Ooh. Would you kindly? I lost you at Hunchback of Notre Dame. It was very interesting. I realize nothing's gonna end up in C tier. But C is like passing grade. Most of them could end up B tier, probably, because I'm so nice. So, yes, Bioshock. Would you kindly put this in A tier? I lost you at Bathhouse. Oh, dear. Didn't realise you were so adverse to cleaning. Self-hygiene. But yes, Bioshock. It was a good game. I found it fascinating. I feel like I've been a bit spoiled to all the storylines sometimes. Because it's so popular, you know, it's a very popular thing to talk about. But I still like the world. The voice acting was spectacular. And I didn't really feel like I struggled with too much. I can only remember being annoyed trying to find where the hell I had to go in that artist's place, you know, finding his students or whatever it was. Those were a pain. But otherwise, Bioshock was good. I don't really have that much to say. It was just always a good time. A solid experience. You know, good voice acting, good twist. Fontaine, fun how his accent completely changed. Oh yes, we did have a few lagging problems with that game, didn't we? But it was just good. It's hard to say when anyone already hasn't said it. It's a solid game. There's a reason why it's so well loved. So yes. I was kindly put it at A tier. Now, The Wanderer, Frankenstein's creation. You know, it's hard to say where this would go. I should just put this in a non-categorized tier, because it's an art game. Won a couple of BAFTA awards. It was nice. Nobody watched it. Barely, I feel like not many people watched this stream, for some reason. But it was a one-time stream. It was like an hour long. It's very story, very dramatic, lots of reading. Called a Mofo Gengar. Let's go. Okay. I was there. Yes. I think you were one of the few. It's hard to say it could be better because it's an art game. So I really should have made a tier for really doesn't fit categorization as I'm putting it, but we're going to put C tier because, yeah, it didn't perform as much as I'd liked it to. That's your fault. Not my fault. That's your fault, video game. Sorry, The Wanderer. It's a very heartfelt story, and it does follow quite closer to the book, which is quite fascinating. I don't know what you're doing. I'm kind of doing raids while waiting for him. Oh, Everhood. Yeah, there's not much to say about Wanderer's Frankenstein creature. It's a script type, but that's just a story, nothing else. Yes. It's just essentially the book for Frankenstein, except you could... It's like if they made the book Frankenstein have like the old Goosebumps sort of choose your own adventure. Now, I really liked Everhood. It also had a very strange story, if I remember correctly. It turned out you were like the personification of death. Or something like that. And people had escaped into this other dimension so that they could live forever. It was something else very weird. It was fun to watch. It was fun to play. That final boss, though. Good God, mate. I remember that being a solid 15 minutes long. Of just dodging. And me just constantly screaming, ah! Oh my goodness. Please. Please let me finish this game. Yes, I killed people to free them from their immortality they had caused them. Because they all went mad doing, like, stabbing each other and slapping each other. They were all going a bit nuts. And Buddha was there for some reason. And you were some sort of personification of death, or the personification of somebody else who became the personification of death. And you were like somebody else, but you were also yourself, and then at the end of the game you return to being that person. I really have to watch my own VODs again about this game, to be honest. It was a bit of a fever dream. Bit of a fever dream. Slapping each other's backs for eternity. What a torment. Quite heartfelt. So you know what? I'll give this one the seal of Winter's approval. I was going to get a picture of the seal of approval, the little doll I have, the little tiny baby seal, but I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun game to watch for you guys. It's just a single video. I know, 7 hours long though. The music also, and we didn't even talk about that. The music was spectacular. It was an interesting take on a rhythm game. It was an interesting take on a rhythm game, I'd say. An interesting take. And it wasn't quite a rhythm game, that's why it was interesting. It kind of acted like a rhythm game, but also didn't. It was like a dance metal rhythm game, sort of. I'd be interested to see if somebody could play it, somehow make it work with, like, Dance Dance Revolution or something like that, and actually make it a dancing, like, dance-off, because that's kind of what it was. Like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, it was very good. It was spectacular. I loved it. So if anyone hasn't watched that VOD, I'd suggest go back and watching it, or just watching your playthrough elsewhere. Got a DDR pad. Gotta go, you all have fun. Thank you, Panda. You have fun too with your Pokemon, your Pokemans. Catch your Pikachus and stuff. Guitar Hero Everhood, yes. I might actually sit down and see if I can play that game again by myself, on my own time. But now, Celeste. Celeste. Extremely tight gameplay. Good soundtrack, and, you know, nice. A metaphor for Depression Simulator. And anxiety and all that stuff. You know, the metaphor, the game that is the artsy metaphor for dealing with mental health. And it was good. Oh, rude. Jay Hank's no fan of Celeste, eh? And I really think it's better than most. Good sir, you must put Celeste in test here, or I'll have to sue you for defamation. I knew you would say that. But, personally, I was okay with it, and the main storyline was okay, but I really didn't feel motivated to do the rest of the game. To play those B-sides and C-sides. It was a nice little heartfelt story. Celeste tier. Oh, that's very clever. And I did enjoy the gameplay as I played it, but it could get quite frustrating for me. And, no, it just didn't motivate me to play any further. And granted, if it wasn't for screams and for my nephew's incessant commentary about it, I wouldn't have played it at all, to be honest. So, I'll give it better than most. I can't say it's always a good time, because I tried a B-side and I was not having a good time. So, sorry. Peter. Better than most. For me, remember, this is completely, I don't care what you think. I'm the master of this ship. I am the captain of this vessel. And I will go anywhere I want, boldly where no other old man has gone before. Your opinion is valid, but it is still wrong. Your 10 out of 10 rating, Eric. I cooled off. Did I get a really good rating? I must have, didn't I? Very good to remember what I do these days. When the hell did I play Celeste? You have it at 10 out of 10. Yes, I did, didn't I? But this is a tier list. It's different. It says based. It's a tier list. So I'm kind of comparing to all of my sort of things. But now you said, okay, I'll move it up to S tier. There you go, get the seal of approval. There you go, J-Hank can be sad now. Because Deus Ex is not better than... I'll split the difference. We can go A-rank. There you go. We'll split the difference. I feel so dirty. We'll split the difference. I'll change it. Nah, back to B tier. Sorry. No. I'm going back. Nope, I've reevaluated. It's gone back. Well, it was good in the moment, but looking back on it in, like, sort of generalities, it was... That's my secret, Eric. I'm always sad. It's hard to say. It really is hard to make a comparison, but I think Celeste is better than most. It could be an S tier, but I didn't engage with the gameplay as much. You know, I played it, I was all high on the story, you know, I think. I was high on the story. I think is why I gave that thing a kind of like a 10 out of 10 sort of thing. Yeah, Yakuza's last, but we all know what the end of that one is. I can't believe you remembered that. I completely forgot I did those things. When did I finish Celeste? Did I finish Celeste before or after Thymesia? No, that's when I got into that. So it was before Thymesia and all that. Remember if you keep your cool on the last chapter. Yes! It was tough, and I managed to do it eventually, but God, my hands actually hurt after playing that game. I can only imagine what it would have been like to get... I'm trying to find what the hell I said about this game. I didn't do it through more streams, did I? Wow, was Celeste really that far ago? Well, I can't find it, so we're keeping with that. Enter the next one. We have the closing shift, where you work at Chiller's Coffee, and serve, and randomly halfway through the game, you have another weird, unexplained supernatural. They're hard, extremely hard. I believe they teach you, like, you're supposed to learn speedrunner strategies to play them. So you're supposed to be able to bounce off spikes and stuff like that. Like, do these crazy frame-perfect jumps and stuff. It's absolutely mad. Pixel-perfect jumps, yes, that sort of thing. Rest of the same was interesting, but it wasn't a good horror game. It's true. Oh, hello, EgoSick. Hello, you join us partway through. We're just looking at Chiller's Art. Chiller's Art's... Well, actually, the second Chiller's Art. Funnily enough, the Chiller's Arts are in... I've got 2 night deliveries here for some reason. How did that happen? Also, how was your Christmas, EgoSick? Was it, did you have a good Christmas? Prepping for a nice New Year's? Chapter 7. I don't want to know what eldritch monstrosities those developers managed to form out of pixels that scream in pain. It was fun. Oh, hello, Mac. What was fun? Finally get some luxury rest. Ooh, very good. Eldritch is a good way to describe it. Yes, I know. Oh, goodness. We're sitting here talking about now. We moved on to Chiller's Art. I don't know. Funnily enough, I think these ended up in order. The bathhouse closing shift, and then I did night delivery. It ended up in order somehow. Hilarious. So yes, the closing shift was interesting. It was funny, desperately trying to make coffees. Speaking of, where the hell did Elden Ring go? I had a picture for Elden Ring in there. God damn it. Give me a moment. This is gonna keep happening because they keep stuffing up my, it keeps just not doing it. Yes, you mentioned it. I think some of the pictures don't... It doesn't like some of the forms of pictures I was been using. So it refuses to let me use them. No mugger, yes. What happened? It must have been the form of picture. Oh, yeah, it's not actually showing up at all, Elden Ring. There we are. We'll find more of these. But we'll keep opening and closing it. There we are. Move that up to next to second. I should have gotten rid of that one. Okay, so, but get the Yakuza back to the bottom. We're getting to the Yakuza, the last one. Get back there. Huh? I don't feel nostalgia. He lives in the past, so he can't be feeling nostalgia. But yes, good simulator. It was very funny that one time we got haunted by 100 ghosts. Like, the demons came out with the giant screen with the timer on it. I don't know why they always have that in their games. And I had to serve as many demons as I could. Lattes. I don't know why I had to serve so many shadow demons lattes in that game. And also why a shadow demon was haunting the same room the stalker was in. But, you know, as a horror game, it's a really terrifying concept. I like its very real story of the stalker and all that sort of thing. A terrifying concept, certainly. But, you know, you could be better. C tier. Now, we'll just put a description up here. We want to say anything more? No, we'll talk about that. But before I do that, we will talk a bit more about so it was a bit of a Starbucks simulator, and yes, I imagine working at Starbucks is pretty similar to serving 100 demons, hundreds of lattes. But yes, now we'll talk about description. Description was very good. I really enjoyed it. The first part was definitely the best part. The strongest part was, I think the first act was the strongest. The second act was the weakest, and the third act was back to kind of strong. So I can't say nothing. It was fun. I did like how they made a very solid game, and yeah, the acts, it was definitely the sort of weird 8-bit game. That was the weakest act, I felt. Didn't have as much fun in that act, but I enjoyed it. It was very good, and I did like the clever story they built around it. Still didn't quite understand what the hell was going on. Even after I watched the video. So, S tier, good gameplay. Seal of Winter's approval. It seems that weird games are gonna... Also, Dead Space 2. There you go, S tier, great. So I just wanted to put that there. I love Dead Space 2. I have a lot of good feelings. I did watch the ARG video. Still didn't understand what was going on. But Dead Space 2. It's like Dead Space 1, except better. And not like Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3, which would have definitely gone in the disappointed category. Because honestly, Dead Space 2 was always a great game. Great at building the atmosphere. Everything felt so much more tense in that game. Especially compared to a game we are getting to. Dead Space, more like Dead Space franchise. No, just 1 and 2 are the best. 3 is... It's a fun game, but certainly no Dead Space game. In the way that it builds atmosphere. Oh, excuse me. I still even found this time myself getting a bit tense. What about fake Dead Space starring John Dead Space? Well, we'll get to that one. It's here. It's a shame how EA killed Visceral. It is, it is. And also, EA messed with Visceral for their 3rd game. If they're gonna kill Visceral already, at least make them make the game they want before they murder you. You know, but Dead Space, test tier game, love it. Love it. If only we didn't have bloody publisher interference. Now we've got to a more ordinary game. EA's killed a lot of things. But there's an interesting thing about this next game. It's Ghostwire Tokyo. It was still when Tokyo and Japan was closed. But, goodness. I have to agree with somebody I watched a video about afterwards. Ghostwire Tokyo made me sad. Not because I was disappointed in it, though it was a pretty mediocre game. Bit of a classic open world experience. But, God, the world, the... Ah, yes. Australia is relaxing and... Very relaxing and soothing. It is, it is. But we'll get to that one. It's still a bit far down the list. But, oh, Ghostwire. Story was a bit bad. got more. The story was a bit interesting. I did like the last part. There was this really effective moment in the story. It was only one moment, and that was when they were walking through the memories, and they actually did a really good job of telling that story of, like, grief and sadness of their family. And, you know, getting over it and all that sort of thing. But, you know, his sister dying slowly and all that sort of thing. I like the Ghost Rider screens for the lean storylines we made up. Yeah, you fellas just went off on your own, didn't you? I was playing a game, and you were off in the corner playing with the action figures. I was like, I felt like a parent having his who's managed to distract the children, so he can sit there and play his games while the children are off throwing action figures at each other. Absolutely ridiculous. But the actual thing is, there's one YouTuber said it made them sad because it made such a good rendition of Tokyo, that area of Tokyo. It was so beautifully rendered, and you could see on the map design, the level design, and the art design of the level where people were before this, like, rapture happened. You know, they were trying to figure out what this rapture happened. There was, like, you know, there's, like, baby strollers and clothes at the bottom of the staircase that showed people, clothes at the bottom of escalators that showed that people were, you know, at the right end of the escalators. So the escalator going up had a heap of clothes piled up at the top and a heap of clothes at the bottom. It was very fascinating. You know, and they did really good with the design. The sort of designs of the monsters were spectacular. I did like how some of the monsters sort of changed the environment. Point is, the art design and a lot of the side quests were really good. There's a lot of good about this game. Because a lot of the storyline wasn't the greatest part. The greatest part of this game was the side quests, especially for me, a bit of a horror story buff. You see, I, at the time, had really been getting into listening to Japanese horror specifically. And so, all these stories that were appearing, ones I knew, that all the side quests were based on stories I knew. They were based on classic horror stories, you know, the building that's haunted by 7 ghosts, or 4 ghosts, and for one of the ghosts to be able to escape haunting the building, they're supposed to lure another person in the building, kill them, and make them take their place. That was great. They did really do it. The thing is, it wasn't a horror game, it was like exploring Japanese folk and internet lore and all that sort of things. I really wanted to like it. I really did. Its storyline was boring, but a lot of the side quests were the best parts about it. The monster design, great. The world design, great. It made me sad, because it was like I wanted to be in Tokyo at the time, and I was really feeling sad that I couldn't travel there. So, it was nice. I don't even know if I knew I was going to Japan by the time I was playing that stream, so it was nice. It kind of made me sad in a bittersweet way. So we're putting it at C tier after all of that very emotional speaking. We're putting it at C tier. Yes, it could be better. C, you could be better. There's a lot to like about the game. There's a lot to like about the game. But it just didn't make a good... You know, honestly, they could have gotten rid of the main storyline and just made you a, like, paranormal investigator. It would have also been nice people to talk to. Have more people to talk to in that game. I really think their strength in that Ghost Rider game was the sort of paranormal investigator part of it. I think that would have probably made a better game. Screw this overarching storyline. Just make it an actual Tokyo full of people, like Yakuza style, but the whole time you're like a paranormal investigator. The combat was interesting, actually. The sort of jutsu stuff you were doing, that was fun. It's weird, there's so much that was good about the game, but it just didn't come together in a more than okay experience. It only had a lot of... I would have put it higher if it was just the horror stuff, because I really like the horror. This Ghost Rider game, I have a lot to talk about. As you can see, I remember talking about it for a long time after I finished the game as well. But yes, we'll move on. We'll move on. Sorry. I could talk about Ghostwire for ages because I love the stories. They're so good. I did like how the new ghosts were all the modern stories, the old ghosts were all the old stories. So all the old ghosts were kind of, it's checking the game suggestions for suggesting rage games. Yes, I know what getting over it. It's getting over it with Bennett Folly or something like that. And yes, I will never play that game. I know, I've seen it, and I will never play it. Unless I am drunk. I will play it if I'm drunk. I will make it a drinking game, so at least I'm enjoying it by the end of it. That is the only reason I will play Get It Over with Bennett Folly. But yes, Needy Streamer Overload. Wow, this was an experience. I feel I can barely remember it because my brain probably blocked out half the trauma, and I also felt very out of control. And this is a personal thing to me. I like being in control of my streams. I like feeling like I know what I'm doing and being in control. And I know that's probably the point of the game. The point of the game is to make you feel completely out of control. Feel like you have no way to save this girl. But I didn't like the feeling at all. Nothing's going to end up in this category. The bottom category. But actually, no, I think this one will be the first to end up in this bottom category. I'm not disappointed at the game, I'm disappointed at myself. Leave the internet, best way to save the girl. Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a awful game, and I'm not angry with it, I'm disappointed with myself. I didn't feel like I was having that much. It was okay, and there was some fun to be found, but looking back on it, I don't know, I just have this really weirdly negative view of it. That stream in general. Bam, problem solved. Well, that's why I only did one stream. I was tempted to see if I could try and win the game. But yeah, you felt out of control. It was a mad game. Very funny game, I'd say. I did like the whole, what's your fetish sort of thing. That was a funny thing, and I don't know what stupid answer I did for the whole fetish question. I answered, but I think I'm going to say I was disappointed in myself. I did not have that much of a good time looking back on it. I don't know why. It's very strange, but maybe it's because I like to have a sense of control when I'm playing games, and that game did not let me have it. That's for sure. Which is a good piece of art. R.I.P. Needy Streamer Overload. I didn't feel like I did very good. It's not you, Needy Streamer Overload. It's me. The only way to get the good ending is to get all of the bad endings first. Good God, there are so many of them, though. Nope, now to another artsy game. Inside. Where a little boy gets drowned, or eaten by dogs, or zapped, or breaks his kneecaps, or drowns, or turns into a terrible eldritch monstrosity shoggoth looking thing and crushes a scientist. Good times. And you run to a lake for some reason. Bizarre. It's a bizarre experience inside. But I think it's better than most. It was an interesting experience. A solid gameplay, nice little puzzles. Actually, no, I'll put it in C tier. It really didn't do much for me. I think it's funner to watch, to be honest, than to play yourself. I'll be honest. So, quickly moving on, because there's nothing else to say. What was that game again? Inside, you mean? Inside the mind of whoever that made this. Bizarre. It's that game where you play as the little boy. I think I called him James. Who's running, vaguely. And you run into a factory, there's these worms that can control pigs. There are these worms control the people that can be controlled by headsets. You slowly get further and further in until you meet a child that can swim underwater. Then you become a child that can swim underwater. Then you turn into a shoggoth at the end. They really want to watch it. What do you have to say about your most successful series? Yes, that's why I put it in C. I think it's better to watch than to play, honestly. But yes, my most successful series, Kirby. And the Forgotten World, or whatever it is. What is it called again? The Forgotten Land, sorry. Now, if we're talking about eldritch monstrosities, this one's got some awful things in it. What kind of... I never understand what fuels the Kirby developers. Because they always make just horrifying things and go, yeah, that's a boss in a game that's cute. Kirby, out of all the games, is my most successful. Yes. Why does that Scream have 250 views? It wasn't the first Scream of the thing, so the one that said, oh, what is this? First time playing. And it wasn't the last one, the finale. Why was the middle random stream of Kirby have 250 views? Why? What happened? I'll never understand it. A lot of the Kirby streams did quite well, but some did terribly, but some of them did quite well. It was... I'll never understand. But it was an interesting game. The almighty algorithm, apparently, yes. I see that. Oh, you want to sleep. It's 2 o'clock, still nothing? Good night. Good night, stream to everyone. Well, Happy New Year to you too, Igasick. Thanks for coming. Good to have you here. But yes, Kirby. It was good. I really liked it, actually. I'm just trying to decide. I know I'll put it in A or S, but I can't decide. I feel I kind of broke the combat eventually. I was very good at it, and by the end of it, I didn't feel like there was much that would challenge me. Granted, I did do a lot of the secret bosses. I think there was one secret boss, but yeah, it was a good experience. I really liked that you could turn into a Mini Cooper. That was nice. You could turn into a Mini Cooper or a one of the K car series or whatever they're called. But, you know, it was fun. I liked the powers. It'd been a very long time since I played a Kirby that actually had the powers, because of course the Kirby I've played the most of is Kirby's Dream Land. Complaining about its difficulty to cool game. Well, I guess kind of felt like if there was going to be a challenge to it. But the dodging, I did get very good at the combat. Now, I felt like I got good at the combat, so that's a good thing. I did get good at it. There was a lot of dodging you could do. You could do, like, slow motion dodges, like Witch Time, for some reason. But yes, I think an A is probably fair for this one. Always a good time. The arena was fun. That was things. Yeah, it turned into Elden Ring. Now, I understand this is probably a game not many of you people actually care all that much about. Monster Hunter. The series as a whole. I really like Monster Hunter. Which is why I played it instead of Deus Ex at one point. Because Deus Ex crashed and I just wanted to play Monster Hunter. I watched Monster Hunter. Ooh. Well, I played Monster Hunter, and I really enjoyed it. And I think they did a really good job with this, this expansion. You see, this was an expansion to the Rise, to Monster Hunter Rise. Rise had its problems. I was so pissed at that stream. I was pretty mad. I was having a bad week, I think, and that stream was just the straw that broke the camel's back. And I just wanted to play something that would make me feel happy, so I played Monster Hunter after Deus Ex crashed. I just wasn't feeling it that day. And the computer was just fighting me over the step, and Monster Hunter worked. It was fun. But yes, I am biased to Monster Hunter games. And I really think Monster Hunter took what a lot of Rise's problems and fixed them. And it made it much better. And I still occasionally sit down and play a bit of Rise now. I had fun playing Hunting Horn and Gunlance and all that stuff. And really, I really enjoyed it. Wish I had more friends to play with Rise, honestly. Play Rise with me, honestly. So we're putting this up at S tier because I just like I'd probably be always for any. I don't know why Crash Bandicoot's here. I don't know if I played that this year. Did I play that this year? I'm a friend. Yeah. Well, if I sit down, I'm currently playing it with somebody. I think. Who knows? It's here. I cannot reasonably put it in any of the top tiers. Because, God, this game is awful. It's awful to... It's so difficult. I got nowhere. I got barely anywhere. I got just past the first bloody boss in like 3 screams. Discord Monster Hunter Rise game server win. When I feel organized enough to do it. When the next title update comes out in... Oh yes, that's right, Rad does. We should play it together, me and Rad. Because I'm currently trying to play it with another person. I'm doing a very slow playthrough as because we're both quite busy. The problem is we aren't able to organize times to play together this year, this last few weeks. So we're trying to get through a Monster Hunter playthrough together. Dark Souls Crash games. It was so difficult. It's a traumatizing technique disguised as a children's game. Never, you know, honestly, it's what I should have expected for an Australian animal. No game that is headed up by an Australian wildlife could ever be a safe experience for one's mental health or fingers. Oh, it was so difficult. And also figuring out the damn codes to get back to where I wanted to be. So I was going to say it could be better. Whoa! 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 Yes, when the next title update comes out, we can do some more Monster Hunter. Metal Hellsinger. That's the most accurate description of Australia. Yes. Murderous wildlife, boulders, and factories destroying the natural environment. Seems reasonable. Played Crash for one stream. I don't know if it was this year or last. I played it a few times, actually. When I didn't have anything else to do, I would play Crash Bandicoot. Metal Hellsinger was sick. Yes, I really think Metal Hellsinger is definitely a solid A tier. Always a good time. I really enjoyed it. I just got exhausted. I think I should have split it into 2 3-hour streams or 2 2-hour streams. Otherwise, I would have probably suffered terribly. I suffered terribly by the end of the game because I was so tired. That's the only problem. That's why I'm putting an A tier instead of S. Because of my fault. It's my fault that it's going in A tier. Because by the end of the stream, I was so tired that I was just not having as much of a good time. I was exhausted. It was so mentally exhausting. Very good, though. Extremely good. The music was good, gameplay was fun, and I might get around to playing Doom. It's just I've already played the most recent Dooms. It would be pretty difficult for me to really get into it. Crash was last year, well, too bad it's here. It accidentally got caught up in my pictures. But yes, so it was great. I think that was my fault. It did have a few glitches though that really broke the pacing. But that's the thing. Yeah, put them in order in the tier. Yeah, sure. We could do that. Now, well, I can't put the year's greatest romance or. Nope. You lost me there for a bit. Nope, I'm back. You lost me there for a bit. I noticed it dropped down to 0. I'm back. But yes. Yes, I just suddenly saw it going for the... It's been stable this whole time, and then it suddenly just dropped to nothing. I think that would have been an internet thing. I think that might have been my internet recently. You see... It's the holiday, it's the school holidays, so I'm thinking the internet's having a bit of a hard time in this area because everyone's at home using the internet in the middle of the day. Yes, we're back. The world's 2013's greatest romance story. Personally, if I were to do a character ranking, I would probably put in S tier, seal of approval, that French lady, even though she's French. And of course, it's Senator Armstrong. Oh, did you lose that? Yeah, well, I said there's no way I wouldn't put the game S tier. I'll do it again for you. There you go. Okay. There's no way I couldn't put 2013's Greatest Romance in S tier. It's just a perfect game. No, I see no problems with it. Because, you know, nanomachines, son. That's what it's in. It's an S tier. Son. Nanomachine, son. Spectacular experience from start to finish. It was even better that we turned it to a weird game a la that comic book series about X's. What is that comic book series? Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. That's it. I really had a great time with that game. It was so over the top, so ridiculous. I was having a real hard time with the combat, to be honest. I didn't learn how to play the combat properly, and God, the Jetstream Sam. Jetstream Sam, that boss fight. Good God, that boss fight was so hard. My thumbs were aching after constantly learning to parry Jetstream Sam for that fight specifically. God. Fabulous guy, though. And ridiculous game. Rules of nature. And all those different... The theme songs for the bosses, they were great. And then... That's the French ladies one, isn't it? What am I thinking? I don't know why it came back this year, but I'm glad. It was fun. There will be blood on the little road. Yes. Oh, very good. And what is that? What is Jetstream Sam's again? Is that Jetstream Sam's? It was the no, Jetstream Sam's was the oh God, why is this out of my head all of a sudden? There will be. I'm just by the way, in the background, I'm just gonna mute that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there will be blood shed. No. Yeah, it's very good, very good, very good. Love it. Nanomachine, son. Point is, spectacular game. Really wish they would make a second one, to be honest. Memory's broken, the truth goes unspoken. I've even forgotten my name. There will be shit. It's very good. Now, as much as I'd love to keep talking about, we've been doing this for an hour. We have the next and the final Charizard game that I have on this list twice for some reason. This isn't the grid. There's always a bigger egg. Night Delivery was kind of boring, to be honest. Interesting little bit of horror. But I think it'll go at the bottom bin. There's not much to say about it. It was a Charizard game. It was kind of boring. Probably the worst of them. I quite liked the bathhouse. For some reason. The closing shift was a good story, and it could end up in B tier if I were feeling nice. But Night Delivery was just boring, and it had some interesting concept to it. I do like how Charizard tries to be unique with this sort of weird horror. It feels quite unique and refreshing, but, you know. Gonna go, see you later, I'll see you later, Tiberian. Thanks for coming, and Happy New Year, if you don't get back before I finish. Nanomachines, Lars. Senator Winthrop. FD, you spend much time going from a guy to a priest and back up. Yes, you do spend an awful time. That's why I'm not angry with this game. I'm just disappointed with it. You do give a dog a bottle, though. That was fun. And you collect letters. But yeah, there's not much to say about it. Just spent my time. Also, that thing where you get to the horror world, you have to climb up and down the ladders like an awful game of snake and ladders. It really does feel like a game of snakes and ladders. But moving on, Sekiro. Now, this was an interesting one. It was the first game I ever really replayed on stream. It was a game I had played before, and in fact, platinumed before, and I actually replayed it. Which is a first for this channel, and I did it because I wanted to. Because we played Thymesia, and it made me want to play a Sekiro. And I enjoyed it. And I'm going to put it in A tier, because it's always a good time. Just a good time. A solid, always a good time. Platinumed. The only game in this list you haven't, I haven't finished yet on stream. I finished this game, didn't I? I just didn't finish it like the first time on stream, but I finished this on stream, right? Didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. Am I mad? Am I crazy? I'm almost certain I finished this game. Yeah, I think it's a long way to the top was the last stream. I did the walking ending. Yeah, there he is. There's the boss. I done a lot easier both. Oh, that's it. There was one person in that stream that is talking so much. But yes, I did finish it. So, always a good time. I wonder what the first stream the Golden Gay Times appeared in was. I got very distracted by that person talking in the stream, but yes. Was Crypto Conundrum this year? If it was, I must have missed it. Man, I hate sleep when I'm missing your stream. Yes, it was. Forgotten, just like that game would have been. It was a fun little game, but, see, I'm telling you, there's some games that I've missed. Ah, yes. The Golden Gate Times would have been last year, then. Yes, there it is, just before my year anniversary. And it turned... I ended up not being able to play it because it wouldn't work. Well, give me a moment again as I fix this. As I fix this. Who cares? Remember that name. Actually, I think Tiberian would have cared because I think he was the one who suggested it, wasn't it? He was the one who suggested that. So. We'll do that now. We'll do Quantum now. Let's do Quantum Conundrum now, shall we? There we go. Rightio. Quantum Conundrum. How are we feeling about that game? I kind of like it. It was an interesting game, but it really wasn't that memorable. It had a sort of Portal aesthetic to it, but it wasn't Portal, which I also didn't play this year, I'm pretty sure. How did I miss that? Huh. Technically, I also played Uncharted this year, but I'm not gonna count. Yeah, I'm not gonna count Uncharted. Yeah, Fabius is here. I did look at that. I did make that decision. I started it last year. It doesn't count. Technically, it's this year, but it really had nothing to say about Uncharted, so it would have been boring. But Quantum Conundrum was interesting. I think somebody was trying. The art design was interesting. It reminded me of all those old, well, it is an older game, but, you know, all those old 3D games. Controls much better in the second game. It does. A bit better, but yes. Yeah, I suppose Quantum Conundrum's better than most. I think B tier is a good rank for that, to be honest. And it was fascinating. I really did enjoy the sort of weirdness of that game. Many years since I started watching you. Time flies, I know, right? We're all inexorably getting older and marching on in time, aren't we? Oh, now here's the doozy, eh? Elden Ring. Yes, it does almost deserve its own tier. Now, I'm not a person who normally does multiple playthroughs. So I understand a lot of people don't like Elden Ring now as much as they did when they first played it. Because Elden Ring, as a first experience, is spectacular. It just doesn't do well second or third time through. Granted, maybe they wanted you to sort of ignore most... In the first thing, do a lot in the first playthrough, and then ignore the rest of it. But it's a very difficult thing to get the platinum for just because it takes so long to do a playthrough. I laugh, though, because it's probably one of the fastest speedruns in all of the Souls games. This game is the fastest to be speedrun in all of the Souls game using the available glitches. It is spectacularly quick. It's like 20 minutes or something like that. It's so crazy. Oh, it's absolutely mad. Any percent speedrun, that's the word I was looking for. Absolutely mad in this game. But, you know where it's going. I really enjoyed this game. I really did. And, you know, the death count was good. I really liked how my eye turned out when I tried to make myself in that game. Old Eric, mugger of dragons and Dragon Lord himself. I looked very fashionable by the end of the game. Granted, we had so many problems in the halfway point because I just did not upgrade my health. Which is apparently a real problem in this game. Bad use. Bad idea. I had 666 deaths in the game, though. That was cool. Remember that, everyone? Gotta thank Bill Clinton making yes, that kid. I cannot believe that kid at the Game Awards. What a time. And I looked like most of the time, after I got that outfit, after I got that cloak with the gold gems, the red gems on it, I think I looked like a 80s, 90s Demon Lord character from an anime, like a, you know, those old style Japanese anime. I looked like a Demon Lord from an old Dragon Quest game. But, no, that was good. The dragon magic, very fun. Using the most overpowered little summon, the old, it was me, remember? Me. That was spectacular. I really had a good time. Went from mugger to Krampus, from Disney princess to a king. From naked man to antagonists in a Dragon Quest game from the 90s. Or late 80s, early 90s. It was crazy. But I didn't think it was fun starting with no stats and then going for like a really squishy... But apparently, it's funny looking back at it because people still have problems with vitality. I think a lot of people were caught off guard about how much... The scaling was so different in the game for health than it was in all the other Souls games that people just didn't upgrade health as much as they needed to because... In the end part of the game, you would hit... Because it was so much longer, the scaling... Yes, the scaling was crazy, but yes, that guy on the horse, yes. That guy on his house. Yep, attacking us with his 20th century house. But yes. It was great though. Wait, where did it go? Yes, S tier. Putting it in S tier. Guy on his 20th century house. But yes, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. The magic was definitely not the way to go, and I was definitely playing the cheesiest strategy. The thing is, I didn't look up. By the end of it, I was using all the cheesiest things. Didn't realize I was. But I was playing a squishy, caster character, so I couldn't really do anything else except for be a bit crazy with it. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear. I like how I kept saying... I liked how I kept saying I would respec in Elden Ring, and I never did, I don't think. Oh, hello, Jack. I've been well. I had a good Christmas. And I'm doing this on New Year's Eve, so I hope... How was your Christmas, Jack? The Jack? How was the Christmas? How was the Christmas party? If you had one. Mine was cool. Ah, that's nice. Messages was very nice, yes. Beware of a small PP. Of course they were. And then all of the messages that said, they all said, messages that all said, dog for everything. Christmas did good. Yeah, it was good. Oh, what present? Did you get any good presents this year, Jack? Get a new article to use in front of your name? Perhaps our Jack? Or the Zeri article, Jack. News dog, yes. It was very good. A very great community. We didn't really... No presents. I didn't want anything. Oh, that's fair enough. I never say what present I got. I got one present. A nice pair of shoes. A pair of new shoes. My old leather shoes are a bit... wary these days. And also they don't fit me as well these days. Nice pair of slip-on shoes, so I can have some slip-on shoes when I go over to Japan next year. But yes, next game. Winter shoes for winter. Fortunately, I don't have boots. I do have boots, but I won't be wearing them for a while. But you said parachute. No. Yes. I got a parachute. A nice parachute. I decided to go skydiving myself. Money is tight for all. That's why our family kind of lessens that. We got a big family, so we can lessen the financial burden by giving, doing a secret Santa where everyone has a present for the other and they can budget it out each other, and it was kind of, lessens the sort of weight on everyone, on one person, kind of spreads it across the family. It's quite good. It's quite good. So everyone gets at least one present if they want it. Anyway, cat game, straw. Well, I admit, it really did feel like I was playing as a cat. Old Teriyaki, I think is what we ended up calling him. My favourite cat. Our cat was a menace. But it's all good. Our cat was an absolute menace. We were scratching the walls, we were scratching paintings off, what was knocking paintings off the wall, pushing down pots and pans and paint. We were terrorising those poor robot people. Absolutely terrorizing them. It was a very fascinating sort of version of a post-apocalypse. Kind of like the world they built. Kind of cyberpunky. It's like all the robots only had access to Blade Runner 2077 or something. Remember, the cats outlived the humans, yes. Cats game staying in F tier for eternity. Cat games are cute. I liked the cat game, mostly because I was an awful cat scratching up everyone's carpets. I was the worst cat in existence. But yes, I think Stray is always a good time. It was a solid experience and it didn't overstay its welcome. I really liked the little horror part where you started zapping things and you found the eldritch monstrosity living in the city. That was cool. I did have an issue with Midtown, actually. Remember we were lost for a while in Midtown? I feel we spent a lot of time in Midtown because I just couldn't find where I needed to go. So actually, actually no. I'm going to keep it up there. And the game did nothing with it. I don't think it was intending to. You were kind of an observer. You were looking into this world. It was kind of like people watching video game. I might drop it. It's sort of hovering between B tier and A tier. I'm putting an A tier. I'm just sneaking into A tier. But I think it could be B tier. Because of that kind of problem I had. None of the other areas had that problem. I was able to find what to do. But Midtown, I really found I was struggling to find what to do in Midtown. B tier. Not quite. It's a bit early for B tier. But yes, the core concept is executed quite well. I think it knew what it was doing, didn't overstay its welcome. It was a tight experience in it. Yeah, this kind of great people watching experience, you know? You felt like you were kind of seeing this world. It was really nice. I liked it. Oh dear. Really simple puzzles. Yeah, I'm gonna put Callisto a bit later. We're not gonna do Callisto right now. You get back there. We'll get to Callisto. Makes me cry every time. Wonderlands. Could be better. I have no strong opinions for it. It was a game, a Borderlands game. It was alright. I liked the D&D references. It could be better. It was long. I think it did overstay its welcome a bit, to be honest. He's still on the toilet. Yeah, he's not available yet. John Dead Space found his toilet. He's still there. I have no strong opinions either way of this game, except I could make a really good Eric in it, which is the only reason... Could make a really good me in it. So the only reason I put it in this category. Because it allowed me to make a man with a beard. Why did Callisto get popular? Did it? I haven't looked. No, I'm just looking at my... Ah, yes. I'm sorry, I'm just distracted by my Elden Ring fashion photos. Oh, that was so hilarious, that one where I dressed up in the dress and did a twirl. That was great. Not a fan of Looter Shooter, but it was, that's the same thing. It was Now, Trombone Champ. There it is. Trombone Champ. I did one very short stream of it because I got so exhausted playing that game and I was angry the whole time. I can't even put it I'm not angry, just disappointed to him because I was just angry. I will put it in C tier just because it was funny. See, you could be better. But oh god, I was frustrated at that game. Oh. E-A. It was fun though. There was a funny song. We could play, you know, March of the Gladiators. I'm sure you guys all had a great time. I, however, did not have nearly as much of a great time. I was very frustrated by it, but that's me with rhythm games. That's why I don't often play rhythm games. Ghostwire needed content, in my opinion? Yeah. Don't get me back onto Ghostwire. I literally could talk about what I enjoyed or wanted out of that. I don't know why that game got me so riled up. And it still does. I'm so emotionally invested in Ghostwire for some reason. I could talk about that game far too long. Your suffering made it bearable. Well, I'm glad you all had a good time. But yes, don't get me back into Ghostwire, Jack. I put it in the C tier because it had so much good going for it, but it just didn't pull it together in a good, memorable experience. The most memorable things for me were the stuff that was about, like, the... we're not getting back into it. I would be here for another 15 minutes. Okay. Valhalla. Just know that I really, really wanted that game to be... If I took all the parts of Ghostwire, I could probably justify a B or an A. But as a whole, I can't. It was less than the game, but it took so long for me to play Valhalla. God, it's because I only played it in very short amounts. I would suggest that stream, so I would watch my Ghostwire streams, because it is full of people talking about lean. That was like at the height of the lean joke, I think. I don't know. It was... Chat in that stream was a whole thing on its own. You could probably just watch them the whole stream. Just mute me. And that whole Ghostwire thing. But yes, Valhalla. Good atmosphere. It knew what it was doing. It was actually the first visual novel, really, that I think I've ever played. I don't play visual novels, so it's sort of the first visual novel I ever played. I only play... It's an interesting, and I'll keep talking about the game, and there's another thing I'll get to, another point. But Valhalla had a nice atmosphere. The music, very good. It kept reminding me of Dead Space. Deus Ex. I kept expecting to start playing in the background, and I really wish I could have put that in the game. To be honest, I wish I had found a mod for Valhalla to add the Deus Ex themes. That would have been great. Yes, and that's the thing. It was a bartender game, and I was having fun completely butchering accents for every character. Half of the ladies just became some variation of Kath and Kim. And a reference to Deus Ex. That's right, we took ages to see it, didn't we? Oh god, I remember. I was like, wait a second. The store was called JC something, right? Wasn't it? The store was called... Did it drop out? God. When did that happen? Dude, what was the last thing you heard? I was rambling a bit there. What was the last thing you heard? Yes, it was interesting. I butchered accents, that was fun. Everyone was just Kath and Kim, various versions of Kath and Kim. The characters were fun. But... Yes, it had that Deus Ex reference that... It was like the third last stream. It was like the third last stream that we realised it was a reference to Deus Ex. The store you buy stuff from was a reference to Deus Ex, the original one. And we all were blown away by it. But yes, I did spend a lot of time, and I think... Yes, it took us ages to see that Deus Ex reference. But I think it was a happy accident of it. It's because I kept playing it at night time, which is why it took so long, because I always did shorter streams at night time. For me, nighttime for me, it was early in the morning for all of you. But I was really creative. I felt like I was able to be quite creative with a lot of the drinks I made, and I was able to talk about drinks a lot and having fun. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It was fun just chatting about drinks and talking about things, and also I really got into the emotions of it, and when people were having things, I would... give my 2 cents on how you would deal with that in real life. Because it talked about a lot of very real experiences. And I sat there and chatted about family and probably gave a bit too much unsolicited advice to people who watched the VODs or were watching live. So, old Eric trying to be the helpful uncle, I suppose. Yes, the introduction of Eric's Blue Mountain Bushfires. Yes, my personal, very own gin. Amazing. I had a good time. You know what? I think it's always a good time. Family. No, this is not the Fast and Furious. Get those Corona beers away from me. No Coronas here. Well, it was fun for me chatting and talking about the experiences and life. It's been a while since we've had a drinking stream. I know, it's just a bit difficult to organise, mostly because I Well, right now I have family visiting, so it's pretty difficult to organize that sort of drinking thing. Because I have to set it up in my office, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I do have a laptop now. So I could get all the programs on the laptop, all the stuff I need for streaming on the laptop, and it'll be a lot easier to set up a stream in the kitchen, though. So, look forward to that. I might try and do one more, or a couple more. We'll see. But yes, we'll try and do another drinking stream. I can't do a New Year's stream, unfortunately, this year, but we'll do one. We'll do it at some point. I have a lot more cocktails to make these days, a lot more gins and stuff. And I'm a lot better at it. So I haven't really done proper drinking streams in a while. A proper cocktail making stream. Yes, well, that's why I'm doing this one. And thank you, if you're watching at some point, Laugh-a-Hee, for having this idea. This was a really good idea, Laugh-a-Hee. Laugh-a-Hee, Laugh-a-Hee. And everyone thank Laugh-a-Hee for this idea, because I wouldn't have been doing this game tier list without her telling me that that was an idea last stream, so thank you. Clap, clap to her. Round of applause to Laugh-a-Hee for the good idea. But yes. Now, we were here. I don't have strong feelings to this one, but it was a collaboration, and I did really like how I made my collaborator, old Bean, like tiny little in my hands. That was very cute. And I had a good time, and this was the stream. The only thing I remember being the beans. Yes, that would have turned up in the drinking stream, didn't it? Bean. Very confused there. Yeah, Balkan, yeah. So James Shifter, good friend, must have missed it. Yes. It was alright, and I do remember they were trying to describe me to something as like a pair of, like, they were like, oh, it kind of looks like some boobs. And I was like, oh, that's why I didn't recognize it. I'm more of an ass man myself. So that's all I remember is that night stream that was the first time I sort of admitted that sort of thing. I online admitted my preferences when it comes to those two body parts. It was quite early in the year, to be honest. Quite early in the year. That's all I remember about that stream, though. It was an alright puddle game, so C tier. It was fun. It was a fun stream. Gonna have all his kinks admitted by 2024. But it was alright. It was alright. I enjoyed the time. Now, this is the big one, ain't it? PS2 streams. Where I'm gonna put... You know where I'm gonna put it? Unfortunately, it's not gonna be S tier, because not all PS2 games are good. But it was always a good time. The PlayStation 2 streams themselves, where I played sort of a lot of different games. Always a good time, but actually, you know what? The more I think about it, J-Hank, you're right, S tier, it's S tier. They were really fun. They were fun. I'll admit, I'll let you have that one. He's currently 50 miles a year approaching the rapid play. Yeah, stop, it's okay. You're okay, J-Hank. It's all good. S tier. I'm giving S tier to PS2. Those PS2 games were such a fun romp, actually. Even though some of the games were awful, it was a fun romp. It is really funny seeing the one where I played the Tony Hawk games and seeing how many copyright claims I had on that video. Well, copyright sort of content ID claims I had on that video. There was about a dozen of them from Tony Hawk alone. No, there are no guns involved. I'm not in Australia yet. Yeah, there's no guns in Australia. That's the thing. You'd have a hard time putting me at gunpoint in Australia unless you were a cop. Yeah, those songs were popular. It was very funny seeing how many content IDs turned up on that stream. Absolutely hilarious, because of course... No guns and roses. Yes, just roses. And tall poppy syndrome. But now... here we have the one that was the reason why the final category got its name. I really, really wanted to give it a C tier. C, you could be better, because I'm saying C, look at Dead Space, you could have been better. And it could be in that Scream thing, but the Callisto Protocol, unfortunately, will have to go in. I'm not angry, dude. I am just disappointed. And it really means, I really mean that. I really wish it was good. And it's actually probably one of the better of these tiers. I wished it could be better. I just can't justify putting it in. I could put it in C tier, but I'm just disappointed. I'm just sad. It's made me sad. But moving on. I don't want to talk about it. I talked about it earlier. Even though I gave it a 6 out of 10, I'm giving it just a... I'm not angry, disappointed. Now, Thymesia. You could be better. Again, not much to say about that game. They tried hard, and for the main character and his powers, it was kind of cool, but the problem is it had that sort of Unity asset pack, sort of Unity assets pack, sort of a, you know, feeling to the art in the game. So unfortunately, I couldn't give it much higher than that. Now, vibe? Yeah, I suppose vibe would work. It sort of feels like they'd gotten all this basic Unity stuff. What game you mean? Thymesia. But Thymesia did do good one. Okay, let's go back then. Is it dying? I haven't seen any drops on my end. Did not care at all about the game. I think it's just me. Okay. But yes, it did one good thing. It made me want to play Sekiro again. So I did. And I had a good time. So, it's just another one of those people trying to be a Souls-like. And it had a lot of good ideas. It did. It had some good ideas. I'll give it that. It had some good ideas. But, you know, it just felt like somebody... It felt like, you know, they were trying. And I think those developers should try again. And I think they could make it a better game. Combat just didn't have enough impact, I think. But it was fun. I did get a bit OP with the... Was it the whip? And... something else that was a bit overpowered, but... because one of them healed you or something like that. Anyway. An alright game. An alright game. For an indie studio trying to make a game like that. Now... we've reached the 20th century house. This is a hard one. I really liked the world they were trying to build. I really liked the mystery that they were trying to build. It was art direction, spectacular. Weird bullet hell. I don't know why they made it a bullet hell, but the art direction, the design, I really liked it. And I liked the whole mystery they created. And the 20th century house. Really liked the 20th century house. That was great. My favorite part of this game was the 20th century house. Because it's like so spooky, and the fact that throughout the game you've got that astronaut like haunting you. That's really cool. Like you would see him in the distance watching. It was fascinating. And the weird world they built. It was a world I really wanted to be into, but it was a bloody roguelike. To be honest, I don't know if they could have made the story work. You see, if they didn't make it a roguelike, the sort of time loop haunted descend into madness thing wouldn't have worked as well. But if they didn't, changed the story. It would have made the roguelike less compelling. I just didn't mesh with the actual roguelite aspect. Because, you know what? What I think. This is what I think. And they did try and add shortcuts. But what they needed to do, and I think this would have fixed it, because it was so based on the mystery, I found the last area that you guys didn't actually... I got there once on stream, and then when I tried to play it myself, I got there a couple of times by myself. It is really hard to get to that last area powered up. What they needed to do is add better... They needed to add upgrades. Because they didn't have upgrades. I like the Metroidvania part of it. That was fun. The problem is... And this is what I found. This is the bad design part. The roguelike part is fine. But what they tried to go for was a sort of Binding of Isaac styled roguelike, which works for Binding of Isaac. It does not work for this game. You cannot get powerful enough, you know? Binding of Isaac didn't just have health upgrades or power upgrades. Binding of Isaac had abilities that fundamentally changed how you played. And I'm using it as a good example of a roguelike / roguelite. I know there's roguelikes and roguelite. I know there are two different things. I don't care. I'm using them interchangeably right now. And so you could actually feasibly quite often get a run of Binding of Isaac where you would be very powerful. Very quickly. That is not the case in this game. It is not the case in Returnal. That's what it needed, is either a robust upgrade system that you could be feasibly, so each run you were actually more powerful. What the problem was is if I used their shortcuts to get to the final area, I wouldn't have any upgrades. I would be very weak and I would die immediately to the very powerful enemies of the final area. And if I took my time, it would be cumbersome. It would become boring because it wasn't quick enough. Isaac is quite quick. The story was supposed to be about, and I actually was quite compelled by the mystery they were trying to build. The problem is it was bogged down by slow repetition. Roguelikes and roguelite needs to be much faster than that. The areas either I need a more robust upgrade system so that I can breeze through the first areas. You know, always have enough health, always have enough damage to easily breeze through the last areas and get to the last areas. Or it needs to be more like Binding of Isaac, where the upgrades I pick up fundamentally change the game and interact with each other in such a way that I can become ridiculously powerful. That's the appeal of those sort of games. And because it didn't have either of those, it became too slow to get strong enough so you could actually do the final area. Or it would be too slow and boring because you had to really find all of the items so you'd actually be strong enough by the time you get to the final area. Or, you know how the weapons would upgrade as you went through? I think they should have just stayed upgraded once you got them, or we were able to get permanent upgrades for all next runs, that all the weapons would be permanently stronger. Even if it's hard to pick them up, I think that would be good. You know, it would encourage exploration or challenges, and you'd be able to get permanent upgrades to your weapon damage, so that each subsequent run far easier. And I wouldn't have to upgrade my level every time. Point is, I really wanted the story to be... I really was compelled by the mystery and the weird world, this kind of eldritch horror of a world they built. It just was bogged down by its gameplay loop. Really bogged down by its gameplay loop. Well, that was a lot more thorough than I was expecting. Point is, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. That was actually a very thorough... I should have made that into like an hour-long video. That would have been really nice. And then here it is. We all know where this is going. Seal of Winter's approval. It was nice to do a lot of the more cumbersome minigames off-screen. It was nice to do the real estate minigame and the cabaret club minigame off stream. I think that was a good idea to do, but the side quests were so silly. The fights were fun, and it was funny that I started skipping them by the end. Even at the beginning I said I would never skip them. The story was absolute emotional whiplash. Dame, 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 yo, dame, dame, yo. Everyone go watch Andy's 3 episodes of Yakuza 0 playthrough that he edited together. That was fun. They're very good. Chef's kiss. Not yet. Oh, that's right. You're editing your 3rd episode. Sorry. Editing is a strong word for what you're doing right now, but point is. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're a busy boy. You're a busy boy, so... I've been editing for 9 months. Yeah, busy lad. Busy lad. Well, I wonder if I start playing one of the other Yakuza games, you'd be more enthused to do it. But it was great. Emotional whiplash, to be sure. But some of the missions were hilarious. I really had a fun time going to the whiskey bars and talking about all of the whiskeys available, because they had brands. They had Lefroy. And in fact, it was why I bought Lefroy. I think I bought Lefroy. Was it? Well, I still haven't released another one. There's so many product pointed. Is it the reason I bought Lefroy? I think it's the reason I actually ended up, going out on a limb and buying an expensive whiskey. So, I remember joking, and that really... it opened up some more whiskeys. I'd only ever really stayed with basic whiskeys. And, over your life, you only really stay with the basic whiskeys. And it's entirely possible I've had this sort of thing before, but I actually watched those streams. Oh, yes. It got me to buy Lefroy. And it was very good. And Ardbeg, ultimately. So, it really expanded my, making a video on this VOD. Oh, are you? The product placement worked. And I really enjoyed the way they did the product placement in that game. I don't know, it felt so... Because it was such a grounded game in some ways, it felt so real to have that sort of product placement. It really made you feel like you were in 1980s economic boom Tokyo. But yes, Yakuza 0, spectacular. Fun game. I keep thinking of weird... Oh, and I just keep thinking of the... It feels out of nowhere, though. It's neither here nor there about that, but... I was invested. I was entirely invested. I know I always get an itchy nose on some of these strips. I never understand what causes it. It's probably the dust all over my desk. I really need to fix the dust. But oh my god, Makoma Majima. Oh my heart. Absolutely adorable. Old Makoto. And our masseuse, our angry, big masseuse man. Absolutely love him. But now, with that, has to leave her for her safety, and then he goes crazy, which is weird. Now, let's start ordering this, shall we? We'll start at the bottom tier. We'll order them. Left is closest to the next tier up. So when I get the further left it is, the closer it is up to the next tier. Oh yes, you were the one who sent me... Was that horror list? Was that the game horror list? I'm starting to remember. I'm trying to remember because there's so many games suggested. I probably did see it, but I can't remember. You'll have to remind me on which server it was on, because if I looked at it like earlier, like more than 15 minutes ago, I don't remember. But yes, okay, ordering time. Bottom. The bottom of the bottom is definitely Callisto, actually, because I was the most disappointed by Callisto. Then probably 20th Century House, then Night Delivery, then that, because it wasn't really that game's fault. That's pretty easy. I think that's a pretty easy one. Now this one. I think this is a good place for this one, and I think... yeah. I think this is a good order for the first two. I think this one's closer to the bottom. So is Thymesia. Last one's Zombie, but we can talk about it whenever you feel like. Yeah, I'll get to it. So, yeah, Wonderlands is probably the bottom with Thymesia. Trombone Champ and Crash Bandicoot are down there because I kind of getting closer to angry because I was angry. But they're all right games. I just got frustrated by them and I didn't enjoy them that much. We Were Here is middle of the road, and so was Inside. But these two, I think, were the closest to getting to better than most. I really think they could have done it. Now, Quantum Conundrum. I actually think I'd put that up near Deus Ex. Deus Ex was definitely very close to an A tier. Very quick, just moving fast. Celeste, I just enjoy sort of the stay down there, but I think it's better than the Bathhouse. You know, honestly, I enjoyed the Bathhouse, and I enjoy all of them, but that's because I have a particular bias to Japanese horror. But I can admit they weren't the greatest games, so that's tier. So in this tier, closest to being the top, closest to dropping down to the bottom. These two top and two bottom in the C tier. C for erroneous, oh dear. The two top and the two bottom in this tier are most, like, tied. I'd say they're tied. I don't know how bad they are. And how good they are. Now. I think... Metal Hellsinger. No. Kirby. You know, I might end up putting these two kind of at the bottom. Kirby was alright. It's kind of middle. I think it was high, and Stray was quite high. Sekiro's very high. Sekiro's probably the highest. But I think that's the order I'd go with these. This is tough. I'm pretty good with this. Because, you know, I liked it. But it was definitely close to, like, really, Deus Ex could have swapped places with Bioshock, I'd say. Deus Ex could have definitely swapped places with Bioshock. Valhalla was good. And those two are the middle. It's just hard to say. They're all just good times. They were always a good time. They match the tier, but Sekiro was definitely the highest of there. Now, S tier. They're not going low, there's just Deus Ex. What a shame. I was tempted to make Metal Gear Rising like a PNG of Ryzen. Ryzen or Senator Armstrong going, "Nano machines, son." I was tempted. Now this is really hard, isn't it? Oh, this last one is going to be awful. I have a lot more S tiers than I was expecting. Oh dear. Oh no. This is tough. It's really tough. Might put that at the lower end. I don't know where it's going to end up on the lower end, but I think I want Elden Ring up there. And my personal bias wants me to put Monster Hunter Sunbreak after it, but it's not exactly perfect, so it's got to be middle of the road, but that means something needs to be ahead of it. Oh, God. Yakuza. Yeah, that's true. Returnal is the JPEG of a house. I think I might put Yakuza pretty high. And that pretty high because it was fun. And Sunbreak in the middle, sort of. Deus Ex next to it. And Inscription and Everhood a bit lower. Because Inscription did have a really it did have a weak second chapter. So even though it's S tier overall, I think it had a weak second chapter. And that's the same with PlayStation. Even though PlayStation 2, a lot of the games were fun overall, and the nostalgia was great, there were some awful games we played in there that were not fun at all to play. They were only fun because they looked like PlayStation 2 games. And Dead Space, and I think that's it. I think that's it. This is just... Yes, I know it was world building. It just wasn't very fun. It honestly wasn't very fun. And if I was more critical, I would have put it down to A tier because of it. There you go. Top of the game, Elden Ring. Really loved it. I would have put Monster Hunter higher, but I remember I did struggle a lot with the sort of the monsters being a lot faster and a lot more aggressive in this upgrade. I can accept that. That's fair enough. Thank you. Thanks. I'm glad you have absolved me, and the threat to my life is over. Thank you. I'm glad I won't have to listen for the distant sounds of rushing thunder. Do you think you'll play Crime in 2023? I don't know. It really depends how much time I have. Remember, this coming year, I won't have much time. Come March, it'll be really tough for me to stream at all. In fact, there may be quite a bit of months that I don't end up being streamed. Only slightly. So Elden Ring at the top and not Dead Space at the bottom. Yes. Because remember, that last tier is... I'm not really that negative where I say they're terrible games. Objectively terrible games. Now, for me, I was disappointed by them. You know, the bathhouse and the closing shift were good horror experiences in a way. They had some fun horror to them, but the night delivery was just boring. And not that fun compared to the other Chiller's Art stuff. The Returnal, I really was interested in the world they were trying to build, and it was just disappointing that they didn't do a good job with the gameplay. They could have done it. They could have made it work. There are so many systems in roguelike that would make that game work. But they couldn't, and Callisto Protocol was the biggest disappointment of 2022. At least Stray was an indie. That's true. Stray was a good one, and Metal Hellsinger. That was fun. I could have put Sekiro in S tier easily, but I think it's gonna stay where it is. Always a good time. Kiwami is smaller than Zero since it's just a remake of the original game, yes. Thing is, I also wanted to play God of War. In the next coming year or so, there'll be a lot of night streams. It really depends what my next year... I don't know what my next year is going to look at. And I wanted to play the 2 God of War games. Because I can get them for free. Well, I can get one of them for free. And so I want to play those 2 God of War games. I don't know if I'll be able to play the original God of War. I don't know if I'll have the time. I don't know, we'll see, we'll see. Maybe I'll play the original God of War still. I'll have to... I don't know. It'll be... It's hard to say what the future holds. I just don't know what the future holds. That's the problem. The OG or the PS4 series. That's the thing. I haven't decided. I want to play. The ones I do want to play is, you know, the new series. God of War 2016 or whatever it was, and God of War Ragnarok. I do want to play those. I just don't know if I have the patience for the very edgy 2000s, 2010s, so edgy you can cut your face on it sort of thing. But, you know what? I might give it a go. I might try. I'll try. I'll give it a go. How long are those games? Are they fast at least? Can I do them quick? Ah, well. Yeah, if I can do them quickly, I might try. But it's just I don't have much time, and I don't want to spend my whole year playing God of War. It depends how much. If I get really used to what I'm doing and the schedule's fine and I can figure it out, I may end up doing a lot of night streams that are short, but a lot of them. Yes. I know. And I know generally how the God of War trilogy goes. I know generally how the story goes in those original 3 games, just through cultural osmosis. And I have seen a lot about it. And I would have done the first stream, we would have sat down and got like a 30-minute retrospective, and we would have watched it all. So, that's what I was planning to do. I wasn't going to jump straight into it. It's just that I didn't play them myself. And it's a bit disappointing. If I'd done it, if you're good at it. I have a video of the high God of War history up to PS4, so... Yes, if I decide not to play the original games, I'll watch one of those. We can have a sit there and watch along with each other. We can watch each other, and I'll pause and go, really? Oh. And you guys can tell me how the video is terrible and doesn't tell you anything, and all that sort of thing. But yes. I'm interested to see what next year holds, eh? Are we all... This is going to be a short stream. Yes, well... I do have... It'll be good for me. It's 2 hours. That's not too short. 2 hours. It's short for the day streams. That's certainly the case. My throat is getting quite sore, though, actually. I've been quite emphatic in this stream. So... I think I've worn out my voice a bit, all of a sudden. I don't know what I was doing. But my voice is feeling quite interesting. No, it's fine. We'll wrap it up in a bit. A God of War retrospective, yes. Ghostwire was too much. God. If I were to make an emotional video essay about any of these games, it would be that one. I don't know why I'm so invested in Ghostwire. It just captured me so well in some aspects. I really loved the world they built, the stories they told. It's just, it had to be a damn open world game, didn't it? But yeah, I would. I can't stop until I finish, so give me 6 hours. I'm not going to stop for you, mate. That's another game I'm never playing. I'm never playing Jump King. You can't make me do that. My heart wouldn't handle it. What was my favourite stream of this year? Oh, that's a hard one, isn't it? Looking back on the streams I did this year. Like, favourite single stream. Like, out of all of them. Yakuza was good. Yakuza was definitely good. I felt Yakuza show, it was like, gave me a bit of growth. With it, when I was playing Yakuza, I really liked it. Not just because the game was fun, but because it also actually grew my channel a bit. The Elden Ring, I was loving that. Absolutely loving that. Yes. Yes, my favorite stream was when Andy turned up. Yes, that was the favourite stream. But my favourite stream, eh? You know, I really liked the cooking streams and the PlayStation streams. For like single stream things. Like the games were fun, but the ones that are... You know, the anniversary stream that I did, my year anniversary stream, Really, actually, some of the ones I enjoyed the most were the most out there streams. The poetry streams, the anniversary stream where I did the cocktail and watched my own video and... Bruh. It's weird that the game ones weren't... I don't know why you're saying bruh, you asked the question. It's hard to say, like, if... The games are good, and I really enjoy them, but the ones you look back and go, yes, that's a stream I'd say I find, is the ones where I kind of pushed myself to do something. And, you know, the cooking streams that I did, the 2 cooking streams I did, and, you know, the anniversary stream where I made I made the Old Winter's nostalgia and wore my red gloves. Oh, and I sung that song, yes, yes. I wish that video was structured to the 20-minute derogatory lesson. That was pretty funny. But it would definitely have to be out of probably the anniversary streams, the 2 cooking streams. The 2 cooking streams. I really enjoyed those. The house is just not set up for it. I find it very difficult to set them up. But oh well. We'll have to get around to doing some more of those, won't we? Who else? Are you on the moon? My favourite is the sudden stream you did. Oh yes, testing my new audio stuff. That was a nice stream. I enjoyed that stream because it was nice testing out this microphone that I'm still using to this day. The old microphone, the new Scarlett thing. I spent so much less money on this than I was expecting. That was the amazing part about it. That's my favourite part of that stream. I like how I was not wearing gardening gloves for the cooking stream. I was wearing gardening gloves. But yes, Trombone Champ stream. Glad you like that one. I certainly didn't enjoy it as much. And when am I in the mood to say goodbye this year with the original song? Play cooking. Yes. So yeah, does anyone else here have a favourite stream of mine? If they remember any? I've got a couple of favourite streams, but anyone else who's listening? Those lurkers out there? If there's any lurkers that haven't said their favourite stream? But if not, my favourite stream is definitely the Yakuza finale. Yeah. Always good fun. But I felt I'm very positive about the Yakuza because it was where some growth came to this channel, and that was nice. Andy turned up and was. I felt like you were my first super fan. Was the singing stream this year? Like the audio quality right one? Yes! Yes, I believe that was this year. There was a one with my nephew, I believe. Yeah, that was just after. The stream was called Let's Hope This Is Not Another Brick in the Wall, which is a funny joke. Then that's my favorite. Oh, yes. Fair enough. You're a super fan, yeah. You're my first real fan. You felt like you were really a fan, you know? Wonderlands felt meh. Is that your favourite stream, Wonderlands? Yeah, did you have a favourite mech? Did you get I did get Death Stranding for free. Maybe I should play that? Get all the product placement in that stream. Mech without the C is meh. It'll be... Not wrong. Not wrong. I wonder if I still have that scene set up. And he gave air to Eric on Summer. Did I? Did he? Who knows? It's a mystery. But yes. Feeling motivated to start working on part 3. Well. After God knows how long. Yeah, well, that's the thing about it, though. It's like... I don't worry, I've done that so many times where I'll be doing something and then I'll get halfway through doing something and then just not do it. Like, I did a couple of things that I've... Recently, even, in fact, where I was doing a heap of stuff. When I was trying to push a bit more for this. When I had a bit more time and I was streaming a lot and I was pushing this sort of channel a bit more, I was doing a lot for it. And then I went back to work and got this thing over in Japan and... then I stopped kind of working on that stuff, you know. I was working on applications to the big Vtuber companies, and then I got halfway through 2 of them and just didn't finish them because all this other stuff happened. And I realized, oh, well, I actually want to do this other thing first. So I'll stop doing this application, because if I'm successful, I'm going to end up in a problem. And set myself so high for myself. I think just doing what you want. Going with your instincts. You'll get better. But I'm the same. I found it too cumbersome because I kept pushing myself too hard. Kept pushing myself too hard when I was editing. Maybe I should hire an editor someday. It could probably help me. That might be good. I don't know if they'd be able to find the fun in me, but, you know, we'll see. I'd have a lot of content for an editor to go through. The monstrosity behind... the Vtuber. Monstrosity hiding beneath Japan. Yes. Where the hell did that joke come from again? The Vtuber. Ugh. The most powerful beast. I've forgotten where that... I remember that joke, but I cannot remember... Oh, it was in the Valhalla streams, wasn't it? I think. I think it came from the Valhalla streams, didn't it? Need to catch up with Eric with his lore, apparently. Yeah, I think I came from the Valhalla streams. I made a joke about the ultimate anime girl or something like that. Yes, I'm gonna get some water. I have a bit of water behind me. The ultimate anime girl. Yes. Excuse me. That water has probably been sitting on that windowsill for far too long. But yes. Well. By the way, the video 150 views and the other I put an F as like 50. A combination of it. I don't know. I do not know, Andy. And why does that one Kirby stream have 250 or 230 views? I'll never know. I'll never know. It's funny because it came so soon after the it came so soon after my really successful Yakuza stream that got to like 100 within 2 days. Sometimes you have to be an old man to be the best girl. Sometimes you do, don't you? Sometimes. Also, I'm really proud of the thumbnail I made for this stream. I've got like Raiden in my hair. Raiden sticking out of my hair. And I saw it was a sword. Yes, and like a month later, Kirby doubled it for some reason. I'll never understand what happened there. I'll never understand it. But out of the growth for my channel, this channel, Yakuza really gave this channel a lot of growth. I think. So. It's one of those things. I think it gave it a lot of growth. I think we just best thumbnail of 2020. God, we do not have time for that, but there were a lot of good ones. I do have a lot of good thumbnails this year. You seem to pull out your tongue. Like, bah! Doing the Einstein thing, I think. But it's just me going, yay! Pretty impressed I did the Trombone Champ one. First I feel like I'm contributing, yeah. Some of the titles were very funny. Like, I really shouldn't eat those beans. I did like the horror Eric on some of the horror ones. And like, I always hide Eric's in a lot of backgrounds. So in the horror one, like one of the train horror one, there's Eric's all over that one. Who are these manly men? One of my favorites is definitely where I discovered how to shrink faces. That was fun. Little angry face, the sort of angry face. when I got the glowing eyes, which are all Yakuza things. I feel like Yakuza, because it was one of the longest series I'd done, I really pushed myself to have to make fun thumbnails. So in the Yakuza streams, I actually did a lot of new things. And the glowing eyes were fun. One of the ones I was most impressed by, and it technically was this year, it was the New Year's stream on New Year's Day for the Americans. And New Year's Day for me, but it became New Year's Day as the stream went on for the Americans. That one is the one I'm very impressed at how I managed to edit myself onto Leonardo DiCaprio's body on that New Year's Day stream. Even with, like, the movie bars. That is one of the most... I managed to really pull off the sort of... the glass, and my face was behind the glass, and I was able to get my head in, so it didn't look... and it didn't even look too unnatural. It looks really good. I was really happy with that one. It turned out really well, the New Year's one. Yes. A lot of glowing eyes. But then I was like, I'm running out of things to do, so... here's weird editing of faces with the... oh! The kind of... what is it you guys call it? The pog face or something like that? I'm not a ditto, but intended by his gold. I'm very clever sometimes, aren't I? Pog face, the weird face. The tiny, aren't we a handsome bunch? Then the angry, time to power through my foes. Me trying to put myself in the Yakuza kind of like final move set thing. Me without a hand saying, "Unhand me, knave!" Wait, not literally. Yeah, Battle Ring thumbnail, you're dead, your ghost is analyzing your course. My favorite part is the gunshot one with my explosion art, and the Dead Space one with my Eric dying art. It is true. I wish I could make thumbnails like that for video. Well, it took a long time for me to learn, but yes, my favorite reuse face is definitely the E face, and yes, me analyzing my corpse was a good one. I like how we're clearly all just scrolling up. The E. The kind of little angry, tiny angry face. Little tiny angry face. One of the ones I actually found I like the most, because they're all fashion. All my pictures were fashion in Elden Ring half the time. After a while I became like, they were all my screenshots. And they were all fashion. After the first couple, they were all my screenshots. And my favorite of the Elden Ring ones, the ear is very funny, and the ghost analyzing one, but the favorite thumbnail actual screenshot was like the fashion shoot, like letter, like postcards that I did of Eric in the dress. An old-fashioned guy, yes. I'm an old-fashioned guy. As in, I am fashioned. Should have had this new icon on that. I just like how it turned out, like the sort of postcard pictures of Eric in the dress. I really liked that one. I don't know what made it so funny, but I laughed at that one. Also, the three me's getting edited together, that worked out a lot better than I was expecting. I don't know why there was 3 me's edited together for the final Elden Ring streams. But I did think I'd push myself a bit in the Yakuza and Elden Ring, but yeah, the tiny faces, very hilarious. Oops, no quantum conundrum, the computer fought back. Using a very old thumbnail. That thumbnail is from ages ago. That's an old style thumbnail from back when I did Superliminal and the like. It was a Just Chatting streamer just after I did Superliminal and the other one, I think. It was a very old thumbnail that I used. We're now just talking about our favorite thumbnails, Tiberian. We finished the tier list, as you can see it there. It's also ordered from left to right within them. So the left ones are the best, the highest of that category. The furthest to the right are the lowest of that category. So there you go, Tiberian. There's your quick explanation. But yes, we're just looking at thumbnails. Oops, no quantum conundrum. Did like me with the cards in my hands. One of my favorite inscriptions was me getting grabbed. That was very good. The grabbed inscription string, pray for me as I get grabbed. That was a good one. I liked how I managed to make that one look with the What a shame. I know, what a shame. Me getting grabbed, that was a good one. Yes, it's at the top. Inscriptions top right of, it's the top, the right end of S tier. Patting the dog. There was a good one that I put so much work in on Ghostwire, but you guys can't see it. I don't know if it looks any good, but I'm going to get that picture. Thumbnails. I put too much effort into this. It was the Ghostwire stream called I Pray for Young Eric and His Taste in Women. This one, yes. I pray for my younger self and his interesting taste. His interesting proclivities. Sorry. But yes, it's Eric when I made my hair brown. And I know no one noticed it, but that was so hard to do. Hanging out with his girlfriend. I do like how there's old Eric going, yeah, get it, boy. I worked far too hard on that joke that no one noticed. It was very disappointing. I thought young Eric was just a myth, but there he is. If it was actual young Eric, though, I would have had a far longer beard and looked like a hippie. And be wearing a Cobra. I wasn't in that stream, yes. That was fun, though. Too much effort, though, for that joke. Actually, for thumbnails, Winter by Eric. I'm the Eric mode right now. I'd have had a much longer beard. Much longer beard and much longer hair. I actually quite enjoyed how I managed to make the, just chattering, the exploration of the strange and macabre. The explanation of strange and macabre was quite fun. I liked reading those sort of strange Reddit stories and all that stuff, and I liked how I managed to put them around the picture. Quite fun. So, like, the no sleep was poking out from underneath the table, and I was getting eaten by little Eric. That's probably the one I use the most, card box, is me getting eaten by the tiny little hand creatures from Dead Space. And then, like, the whole human manatee is crazy sort of thing, and Kowabana's stories. And the no returnal stream that turned into just chatting. Which one was that again? 'Cause, yeah, the Kirby streams did get progressively more horrifying, didn't they? They were frightening by the end of it. Just frightening. Poyo! Poyo! Poyo. The Dead Space 2, where I'm having an existential crisis using Cardbox's art again. That was a good one. The tiny face inside the diving suit. Honestly, the geriatric versus the mother's lasagna recipe and the unskilled Ellie man versus Hiroshima style cooking looked like an actual YouTuber thumbnail. They look like an actual YouTuber thumbnail. So I'm pretty impressed by how I managed to make those look. They look like a thumbnail. Eternal. Which was the Eternal that turned into a just chatting? Oh, yes. Or, oops, all geriatric rambling. You can tell I didn't think about it to us chatting stream, is when I used that picture with the 3 Erics in it. I was very, actually, the Valhalla ones where I put myself into the Valhalla game, that looked good. Quite difficult to pull off, to be honest, but that looked very nice. I get the award for most thumbnail-like thumbnail, yes. They just feel very, probably 2010s YouTube sort of thumbnail, but they feel very classic. Hello, lass. Yes. The alternate Erica night delivery thumbnail. How did you do that? Oh, the night delivery one. That is actually, I might jump to another screen now, just to make it more intense. I might just Actually, stuff it. That's actually a ability of this program that I use for my model. Actually, it's an effect called halftone, I believe. Ah, I've got the wrong halftone on. And so if you you can make myself look very ominous. Hello, us. I'm in HD now. I'm in HD this time. But see, this is how you do it. It's an effect called halftone. And you can make it look really frightening, like a character from that Mandela catalog thing. So that's how I did it. It's just an effect of this program. I don't know what to call it otherwise. It's just halftone. You can get very ominous with it. I do like this one, though. You can make it just a tie. And then you can change the tie to whatever color you want. Like a red tie. And I think in one of the streams, this is just what I looked like. I think for the Ghost Train stream, I just looked like a tie for half of it, or was red and ominous for half of it. Oh, yes! And I did the jump scare with Night Delivery. Shadow Eric. Ah, yes, Mr. Winters. I can do blue too. Blue, deep blue tie. There you go. But yes, it's an effect that you can turn on. It's fascinating, though. I did like playing around with those on the horror streams, just going full sepia with sepia Paddington in the corner. Sepia puppy dog in the corner. Very fun. Looks like a sleep paralysis demon. Yes, your sleep paralysis demon. Wait a second. Let me do that. Enable. Back to white. Get the creepy face. Then... how do I zoom in out? There you go. Go. Hello. It is very nice to meet you. Hello, lass. Jump scare. Whoop. Whoop. Hello. It is I. How are you all? Looks quite good, to be honest. I quite like it. Anyway. Tiny square jump scare, yes. Bit of a small jump scare. Worked better when it was the whole screen. But I do like how I managed to hide the death symbol from Sekiro in almost every one of the Sekiro thumbnails. There was always a death symbol hidden somewhere in those thumbnails. Except for the final one. I actually don't think I put one there. Anyway. That's all of them, I think. We've kind of reached this boat. Doing death. Yes, well, we could close the year out with the original song if I could find how to do it. Oh, yeah, hey, this still works. Hello, everyone. Now, I haven't sung this song in a while, so I think we'll finish up with that song. If I can... It's not going to be great. I'm going to be sitting down, so forgive me. Yes, I'm taking... Welcome to the Romantic Park Date. This is actually a picture of a street in a country town in Queensland somewhere. It's just a picture of a random street in an old country town. That's somebody's farm entrance there. So, thought it was quite nice. Upside down? What about upside down? You upside down? Quite the year for all of us, wasn't it? And more so, I feel like this song is a bit dramatic because it almost makes it sound like I'm not going to be here next year, this song. Doesn't it? There's no music. Where is this? Is a song here? Yes, it is. Oh. I'm upside down, you're upside down. I'm upside down. Why am I upside down? How did this happen? But yes, it's been a good year, hasn't it? This music's suddenly gone because, of course, this is supposed to be a singing scene. Where the hell did I put the lyrics for this song so I can actually not get them wrong? Because Australia. Eric's taking over Japan this season. Yes. And you know, even if you don't grow big because you're not a big titty VTuber, you need to keep going. I'll definitely keep going. Something to do, probably once a week, maybe. At least once a week. I'll always try and do a stream at least once a week. I feel bad about doing it only once a week, but I'll keep going. Yes, I may not have anything other than I've only have the sort of breasts a man can get. But the vest makes me look thinner. Hey, once a week is better than nothing. Well, it's consistent. Where the hell did I put the bloody lyrics for this song? I left them somewhere, didn't I? God, where did I put the lyrics for this song? Because I remember the chorus well enough, but it's the other part. Curse thumbnails we photoshopped. Oh god. But it is an idea. I'll give you that. It is an idea. And it shall stay that, likely, for a long time. God. Where would I put that thing? Where did I put the lyrics for this song? Oh my god, you look like I'm 10 years younger than those. Oh, do I? I got a bit of work done, you see? It's actually funny, because you can look... There's a lot of free sort of PNG art that people use that gets them, like, outfits for, like, Christmas and stuff. And I was so tempted when I was looking at Christmas art. There was a sort of, like, a free PNG. Plus, if you had one of the 2D models, you could actually put it onto the 2D model as an outfit. But there was a PNG of, like, a sexy Santa girl outfit. I was so tempted. You would have no idea how funny that would have been. But I didn't end up doing it because I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. And I thought for the longest time, I didn't look back later, it was a PNG, but at the end, I think it was something else entirely. But, where did those go? I think my nephew sent the lyrics to me when we first made them together, so I'll have to go find him on Facebook and get the lyrics from him. Our group chat. Yes. Oop. There's a blank square on his head. It's true. But yes, oh cool. Well, it's been a good year, so that'll be a pleasant surprise. It would have been funny, but I don't know why I didn't do it. I just didn't feel like doing it. Now anyway, gotta make sure the song, that's what it probably is. Okay. Are we all ready for this? The song, the old song again. PNG Winters, yes. It's time to go. I'm no Frank Sinatra or whoever, some other people. But let's go. See if I can remember this song. Patience is a vice that grew strong along my life. I forgot there's an introduction. Patience is a vice that grew strong along my life. Others chose my path when I didn't make the time. But now the end is close. I will wait no more. Take your drawn maps somewhere else, since I won't walk your walk. Where I go, you can't join me. Endless forks shape the way. Slow to start, but now I journey on the road my heart paved. Age has stilled my tongue, which has brought me trouble none. What I have to say won't stay within my lungs, but you demand me speak, but I cannot be forced. So take your nonsense somewhere else, since I won't talk your talk. Where I go, you can join me. Endless forks shape the way. Slow to start, but now I journey on the road my heart paved. Nothing's ever easy, even when I set my course, since someone made the pieces I played upon the board. But they can't stop me cheating or bending certain rules, so don't misjudge the spirit of this older, smarter fool, for I won't be your pawn. Where I go, you can join me. Endless forks, they shape the way. Slow to start, now I journey on the road my heart paved. On this long road my heart paved. Thank you all for listening. And Happy New Year! Let's hear to another year, shall we? Perhaps we should just end it there. Fade out. It's been a good year, everyone. Here's to another one, everyone. Here's to another one. Even though endless forks may shape the way, let's hope these streams are the crossroads for all of us that bring us back together. And I think we'll end it there. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year.